Hey friends, as you can see, the topic on the balance update and Aether reset tokens. So, Empires and Puzzles has shared on the forum this detailed note, which is a clarity for me as a beta tester also because of course yesterday it all arrived in beta and then play for fun as he so diligently, amazingly does. He organized all information on the forum in multiple topics that he posted and tried to cover as much as he can, which he almost did. I think he covered everything. And then the whole bomb blast happened in terms of what the hell is going on, why so much, why this, why that. So I decided to, just sit through, let it move within me, try and get better understanding, and so on and so forth. But while this was the approach I took, one thing I was absolutely thrilled about was the Aether reset tokens, which is something that I had written, across multiple topics in various forums, line groups, and mentioned that, and especially during the time when the limit breakers two heads, LB2s had a conversation had started and they were going to be introduced that LB2s are not going to be such crazy problems if they can give us a very important quality of life choice of reset tokens so we can actually use our limit breakers, take from heroes that get nerfed or become irrelevant and so on and so forth because of the tons of heroes being introduced and so many other things which is bracketed under power creep and all that. I don't disagree that power creep doesn't exist and blah blah blah, but I don't fall into this trap of I'm a free to play or cheap to play or pay to play. And some people also have a discussion of pay to win, which is absolute bullshit, but okay, that's a different topic. I also want to not be a YouTuber who panders to the subscription base to make them feel happy. That's just not me. That's exactly the thing which I have felt very disgusted with since I started playing the game and saw certain YouTubers following a particular approach, which they have every right to for whatever reasons to market their channel, to expand the subscription base. I preferred honest facts as per my understanding, which can be at times erroneous also, because I'm also learning and discovering many things, and I made some really basic, simple gaffes, not just while playing this game, but also since the time I started this channel. But this channel was 2 or 2.5 years late, 2 years late for sure, for whatever reasons. I will not get into that. But was also motivated by a lot of crap going on that and plus I don't make special content. I basically screen record as I play my game or as I do things, and that's why I'm able to be very quick without drama theatrics, just upload and put my content for fellow players and subscribers of my channel to watch, for whatever reasons that you all do. And I'm thankful to each one of you for doing that. Now, having said that, I'm going to do this read. I saw this particular thing and I said, let me read, because I've had DMs and I've had personal queries that have come about my view. And especially, multiple people have pointed out that your sweetheart gazelle is going to lose the healing power. So, how do you feel about that dancing? So, I will speak about that. I have got in my latest video on my channel a very detailed note I have put regarding this same query, specific gazelle related query. But I want to read this and see, what this whole thing is about. So the staff has written that here are two specific topics that they're going to be discussing in this update. They want to throw some contextual light on two very significant updates being tested in beta: the big balance update and the Aether reset tokens. The big balanced update. We are planning to conduct latest balanced update in the history of empires and puzzles. More than 200 heroes will be affected. This is a very big update and hence we'll go through several beta rounds. We are going through the first one. We are not going to rush this out. The details will go through multiple iterations. And as of now, we have only kicked off version 58 beta round 1. In round 2, we will most likely make many changes to the current list of adjustments. If deemed necessary, we will do the same in round 3 and so on. So which is actually brilliant. And I really commend SG for coming out with this clarity after seeing yesterday's whole noise. Because see, whatever be the reasons, if players are unsettled, the game is not being enjoyed, and that's the main theme of this game. It's a game, so we play and have fun. And if something has really disturbed the force, caused a disturbance in the force within the game fraternity, player fraternity, then it needs to be dealt with, and this speedy response is really welcomed. And assurance that this will not be speedily rolled out is an accusation that is constantly being thrown at SG. So this is good. Now, so a bit of history. For a long while, in designing and balancing new heroes, we have mainly placed our attention on crafting interesting special skills and fine tuning their numbers. The raw stats weren't too actively utilized for balance purposes. Yes, newer heroes were awarded slightly better stats, but we kept that incline extremely mild. This special skill approach had benefits. Thanks to it, we were able to craft and release hundreds of interesting, powerful new heroes over the years without ever excessively devaluing the existing cast, which is something that I do agree because, even the nerfs irritate people. But honestly, me as a player personally, because excuse me, I don't go through decimal level 0.001 calculations, so I am not impacted highly by the nerfs compared to many other people. Also, if one has spent to get a specific hero, then obviously there are other aspects that into play. Excuse me, just bear with me on my throat. I'm going to be speaking a lot, so that's that. So, many classic heroes, despite being 6 years old, still are competitive options at nearly all levels of play. We believe this alone speaks volume. Yes, and they have done, some work in that. I will not give them a carte blanche approval. They need to do a lot of work more to, make those old heroes a little more sensible for the crowd that doesn't spend. In recent months, however, new heroes have started to close in on the game's upper ceiling of sensible special skill number values. We are not at a breaking point, but we are edging ever closer to it, which is something that we agree, especially with the LB1s and the LB2s that have arrived. They have taken this to a completely different level. In Empires and Puzzles Battle, frustration is mostly felt when you get either a useless starting board or an unintended unfavorable cascade. I mean, both things have happened big time on my channel. Videos that I've shared, and yeah, I've been judged by a couple of rude people, but then they are trolling, so I'm going to disregard. But many have been kind, and a lot of messages I get on DM which says that yeah, they understand, and that's real fun. It motivates me to share more honestly the way it happens. I would really urge people to like and subscribe my videos, and also at the same time more and more to subscribe to my channel. I'm closing on to that 1,000 number, so I might be able to do some live streams, and that should be interestingly fun. In the long run, it all balances out anyway. Now, this is my line that SG stole, which is something that I completely believe. It's not just about life, not just about the game, but in general in life, that, things just balance out. So one doesn't need to get too hassled about it. Like one of the things that people get hassled is money. Oh, you spent on me, so I have to find a way to pay you back. Come on. If it's a one-time thing, it really doesn't matter. And if it is a multi-time thing, it gets evened out. And we all know how it is, whether it's with family, friends, or even an occasional acquaintance. So it does. However, there is a big difference between an unlucky start leaving you in an unfavorable position and an unlucky start leaving you with no room at all to mount a comeback. Unfortunately, the latter scenario has been becoming more and more frequent as of late, which is the high powered heroes. I just had a raid where the latest high powered fellows were there. I just didn't get dark tiles. Otherwise, they would have been wiped out without a single of the fast fellows firing once. I just didn't get my dark tiles. So that was a case of not getting the tiles. And I was 113 darks. So yeah, it's that. It happens. So, due to the power of special skills and number of synergistic hero combinations having slowly but steadily increased over the years. As such, we felt it would be the best for the health of the game, both in short and long term, to revise our approach to hero design and balance at this point in time the big balance update, in which we have taken a comprehensive look at our more recent heroes and made certain sweeping adjustments, is the first step we are taking in line with our new philosophy, which is a welcome thing because this again gives an insight that they are looking at trying to make things a little sensible while they have to make money and also provide excitement to drive revenues, because excitement and revenues also go hand in hand, and especially the players that spend on the game, they have to be provided a possibility, option, opportunity to experience the game at a different level. So if somebody is so when I'm talking about the top alliances or the players with top troops, latest heroes, I really don't care a damn. They have every right to that particular experience. They are spending, and the game has to look at them also. So this immediate spender versus not spender discussions are irrelevant. And I have realized by reducing my participation on the forum, I'm just well off because people can keep talking over there, and that's a waste of time. Just go and enjoy the game, play the game, find ways, and solve such scenarios, because that's exactly what those spending fellows do. They just go and enjoy the game. They don't come and discuss things threadbare. So, going forward, the gist of our new direction is that heroes' power will now be allocated a bit more to raw stats and a bit less to special skills. In addition, which is interesting, in addition, specific hard cap values and rules have been set for many different types of special skills. Example, damage to all attacks should not go above n percentage. As a result, special skills do not do a bit less damage, whereas normal attacks, that is troop damage, do a bit more. So this is also a time for a lot of players who are not paying attention to troops. Well, start working on those troops. And believe me, I mean, I think by 1.5 years, when I was 1.5 years old, today I'm closing on to my 3.5 years with the game. I think in about 18 months, I had level 23 mana troops for all colors. Obviously, blue was the last one to arrive. And then a 17 and a 11. So, and then I built forward from there. So, work on those troops. This is what this particular para speaks. We believe that placing a reasonable upper limit on the power of special skills in this manner will make the game feel more fun and fair. Absolutely. Because then, the 300% damage to all, or 350% or 400% damage to target and nearby, or it really gets sorted out, because the special skills are being capped to a particular percentage or kept in a specific percentage range, whereas a lot is going on to the hero base stats is good fun, and the damage or the impact is going to be carried forward by the troops. Great. We would like also, yeah, okay, I will skip it for now. We would like to strongly emphasize that these tweaks are not a targeted attempt to kneecap any individual hero or elevate specific kind of heroes. To the contrary, our internal testing tools indicate that in the grand scheme of things, the vast majority of the heroes affected will simply remain about as powerful as they are now, which is very true. I totally agree. Example, Costume Guardian Panthers damage is being brought from 285. It had gone from I think 270 to 285, and now it has been brought to 250. She still whacks hard. I have tested in beta, she still whacks hard. So what is required is a strategy. And that is all my videos show. I carry a hard buff, which means Gazelle will still stay relevant for me. How to keep her alive is where I have to rake my head. Second, I carry the defense down, the elemental defense down. So attack up, multi defense down does the job. So, and then there are many other combo. Boosted health is a combo. Then immunity from various kinds of ailment is a combo. Stealing buffs is a combo. So all that is part of the playing strategy. So it's important to line up a nice combo of heroes that synergize and can do the job that I aim to. So that's very important, and I'm not seeing anything reduce over there. Yes, Gazelles heal over time for the regular version, or the heal all allies for the costume version might go, but that, if you are watching my channel, you'll see that Gazelle is the second healer that I take a specialist healer, which means for me it really doesn't matter, and many times Gazelle's heal is irrelevant. Yes, sometimes that heal really saves the moment, but a lot of times there is already boosted health from Arco or Aramis that is already active, or even at times when I used to use more of Heimdall, the boosted health would already be there, which means costume Gazelles heal many times is just symbolic. So there is the point. It's the strategy that is important, and the key thing for me is what does the hero's core strength provide to the five heroes that are going for the play. So overall, no hero can see drastic change. Okay, before that, there may be some shifts in the meta, of course, as players will have more heroes to choose from. Most of the 200 heroes affected by this update will become stronger options. But overall, no hero should see a drastic change to how competitive they are. What we are aiming to change through this update is not individual heroes' strength relative to each other, but rather how battles, particularly at the top level of play, feel in general. In sum, we believe the big balance update will not only give us a lot more room for creativity while designing future heroes, but also provide players more room for strategic skill expression, making player versus player battles more fun. And this is something really coolly required. I think SG needs to do a quality of life thing of us being able to see how these battles went. Maybe, that's a suggestion that we will go into. So this, I think the balance update for the 200 odd heroes is very well explained. So I'm going to leave it at that. And plus I interjected in between to share some of my thoughts. Going to the Aether reset tokens. In this section, we have some great news, tiny bit of mixed news. We will give you the tiny bit of mixed news. Tome of Experience will no longer remove essential material requirements, which is something that is already well explained and blah, blah, blah. So I will let it go. We are aware some players may be disappointed. Yeah, but that was an anomaly, which at least so far, because I haven't used the alphas, so I haven't used the Tome of Experience aspect in that particular way. So it's an irrelevant point for me. But that's being sorted out, for bigger things, which is great. And now for the big news, which is Aether reset tokens. We know it can be quite frustrating when a huge update that affects a ton of heroes all at once, such as the upcoming big balance update, ends up negatively affecting a hero that you have brought to max level very recently. We believe this new Aether reset token will be extremely welcome in many cases. Just to be clear, these tokens cannot be earned as rewards or purchased via offer. They'll only be gifted for free in certain situations, which is good. Using this token on a limit broken hero will take them back to the original non-limit broken max level. Below is an example. Yeah, so fully ascended 4, double ascended limit broken, max 90, emblems 20, and the token is used. The hero comes to fully ascended level 4, no limit breakers, max level, and even the emblems are returned back. So this reset token works even for the emblems. So maybe, what SG can do is not let the emblems get reset, because then you have to spend resources and food and blah 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 on that particular re-embleming the hero. And that could be, but there could be wisdom in this, because uh, in case of costumes, because there are lots and lots of hero costumes, so this gets, they were strategically prepared, and when this thing happens, and if the hero is if one is resetting the hero, the logic applied is, instead of using multiple tokens, just reset the hero and do the stuff again. And well, now, well, as I was speaking, I realized that the food and steel or iron comes from within the game. So I don't think so that should be an issue. A single token resetting both the Aethers and also the emblems takes care of the unnecessary requirement for either using gems for the emblems. If you don't have reset tokens, why use two tokens? Simple. Unless the game decides to change the programming and provide both. For every Aether reset token, there is a regular emblem reset token provided. That could also be a solution. Aether reset tokens return 100% of the Aethers, both regular and alpha, essential materials of all rarities, emblems both regular and golden, which is fantastic. I think this is the point. The regular reset token doesn't give the golden emblems back, but in case it's an Aether reset happen, then the golden emblems come back. So this is actually, I think this part is quite well coming, because we all have lost golden emblems quite a bit while doing a reset. At least I've done it on 2 occasions. So I've lost 4 plus 4, 8 golden emblems so far. So I would be happy to go by a single Aether reset token, delivering me all my Aethers, blah blah blah, and my emblems back, along with the golden emblems. So yep, done. I'm sorted. I don't have a problem with that. Then experience also, the XP is also returned in the form of trainer heroes that were used to train the hero post limit break. Roughly 50% of the food iron used in that process will also be returned in the form of crates. We hope, which is also cool. We hope the implementation of the Aether reset token will make you feel a lot more at ease when deciding which heroes to limit break. We are currently considering giving at least one Aether reset token to all players when the big balance update goes live. Well, that is it for today. Thanks for reading and blah blah blah. So, yeah. Well, I would want SG to provide at least 3 Aether reset tokens, not just one, when the balance update goes live, because most player base will be or some kind of a ratio in terms of roster having say a certain number of heroes. So say for every 50 heroes that a roster, I'm just quoting a number, it can be different, but for every 50 heroes that the roster has, that is part of the 200 balance update, there can be a reset token, or for 70 or 80, or whatever logic. So there could be more than 2 to 3 tokens that can come, and hence one can actually reset a few heroes, because one hero is too less for a big chunk of the player base. I mean, one reset token. So, friends, this is something that I decided to speak about. I saw this. This should be, this for me personally is reassuring on both the points that is being mentioned over here. And I would just want generosity with few extra Aether reset tokens from SG. And the hero balance is not horrible. Yes, some of the specials are going away, like Fortuna is losing the what is that, debuff first, and then blah 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 of the specials. They have to then do something about the damage potential of the hero, because if the buff stays, then that 120% damage is stupid. Let's be very clear about it. It's too small a damage. So I will be giving those kinds of feedbacks myself in my beta notes. And for as many heroes as I can, I would like to believe two things have happened. There has been some players that have left beta, so maybe left the game also. And recently I saw on the forum that there's some close to 10 odd new beta mates that have joined beta. So there's fresh thinking, fresh blood that has come in. So they will also be very enthusiastic and share their feedback and their experience. And one important factor is whenever we play, all that gets recorded. So it's not just our feedback that we write, but it's also all our playing is data is picked up by the servers. So that also gives SG a lot of information as to what's going on. So that's it. Not Armageddon as was felt yesterday. And I just wanted to see what happens. And I, for one, believe that unless SG is suicidal, then they would have closed the game long back. But they are not suicidal. They are trying to do certain things, and it's never a perfect scenario for everybody, and especially when the player base is a million plus. So there are going to be multiple variations. At the same time, I'm going to caution my fellow players, especially the genuine ones, who are enjoying and playing the game and are in the game to play, not to get caught up in bullshit of trolls, because there are quite a few fellows who are trolling and creating nuisance and nonsense. They illogically introduce conversations which many times really doesn't make sense, because in the fifth plus year of the game, spender versus non-spender talk is stupid. And thankfully, on my channel, I can call it stupid. It gets immediately reported on the forum when I call them out. So that's that. I know who I'm talking about. Those few fellows who regularly keep coming and inciting players. So it's time to not fall for that kind of narrative, and play the game, have fun. Thanks for listening to my thoughts, rambling, and views. The aim is primarily to keep it as simplified and, as per my understanding, which can be whatever. I would be really happy to hear your feedback on this conversation, and happy playing. And see you in the next video. Cheers.